Welcome back to some of you, oops, wearing my hair things here. Welcome back to some of you who've been to our summer intensive again and again, and those of you who are new to our program. It's been 2 weeks of intensive classes in ballet, jazz, tap, modern, acting, puppetry is a new subject we ventured into this year, costuming lightly, some set design, and we had a great course this year in lighting design. As you can see, we have lights right through the ceiling. And I'm going to introduce each of our teachers to you today before we get started. My name is Carol Topola, and I taught a variety of things throughout the program. Some ballet, some disco dance this year, a little bit of set design and costumes. Vlada Chibidiako worked with the ladies on ballet and character work this year. Tony Bravo, who couldn't be here with us this evening, worked on modern dance. She is currently working on a musical. Desiree Ray taught the girls jazz this year, and she is also busy with another professional project this evening, so she won't be here. Shannon Owen is our tap instructor, and she shall be here shortly, I'm sure. Sherry Lettingham worked with our girls on puppetry this year, and Sasha Biezi worked with us on acting this year, which is, I didn't mention that yet, that's one of our finales of our theatrical presentation this year. To begin our program this evening, we're going to start with our classical ballet segment, and Vlada has worked with them on some variations from the ballet Paquita. Today, the one-act Paquita is all we now see of the original story ballet of 2 acts. First danced in Paris at the Opera in 1846 to the music of Del Debes. The Russian version was revised by Marius Petipa to music by Ludwig Minkus. Alexandra Danilova produced above-mentioned Paquita for the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo in 1949. The production you see today is after the version, which is currently in the Kirov Ballet repertoire and major companies of the world. It consists of the last act of the original ballet, a divertissement, which has been compared to a fireworks of classical ballet. And of course today there are just a few sections of Paquita that they're performing, some solos and some ensembles. So, enjoy. taken a piece of music that was from the 70s performed by rock musicians that were actually classically trained, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. And we've chosen a piece of music called The Fugue from the Trilogy album. And what we did is we took their classical training and applied it in a contemporary way. So as soon as they're finished catching their breath a moment, they'll be right out for you. For you first. I was just getting you excited about what's to come. So, sorry. All right. Next, we're exploring the jazz, and I'm actually telling you the truth this time. We're going into the jazz section. Desiree Ray also teaches at other dance studios around Austin and is taught internationally in the Netherlands, England, Italy. She's taught all over the world as well as within the United States. She teaches jazz workshops at the World Jazz Dance Conference and hasn't done it in this recent year, but in the past years, and has a great knowledge in a variety of types of styles. And today's jazz reflects sort of a Spanish feel. So as soon as they get their shoes changed, they'll be with you.
You need me to move anything?
What we were trying to do with this next piece, I'll speak to you from here, was work with a little bit of a theme, taking a modern jazz feel and utilizing sort of an intrinsic storyline, and they utilized that in creating the ending of this dance piece. in the jazz section we had a lot of fun with. It's our younger group. And since our theme tonight centers around the 70s and our play reflects the 70s, I decided to teach your young children a disco line dance. So, get down. Here we go.
Disco line dance. That's pretty great. Get up there and say something. Come on.
I don't know about following that. You didn't tell me about that, Carol. I would have stopped at the 70s instead of going back all the way, which is what we did. I'm Shannon Owen, and I've worked with all the young women on tap dance. And what we did was we explored the roots of tap. Instead of just going back to Fred Astaire and Keith Kelly, or Bill Bojangles Robinson, we went all the way back and looked at African rhythms. We looked at Irish dancing, we looked at Scottish dancing, and we looked at Spanish dancing. That's where we started. And so just looking at the different use of the body, different use of rhythms, different use of the feet, from the all-over rhythms and everything of the African dance to the more just using the feet of the Irish dance, and then you look at Scottish Highland dancing, and they use a little bit more of the body and a more lifted kind of look, and then Spanish dancing, certainly using the whole body and using intricate rhythms of the feet. And we did played around a little bit with bluegrass rhythms and looked at clogging and how it's influenced tap dance. We spent a little bit of time on improv and on the rhythm dance, but not as much, because sometimes when you go and take tap classes at other places, you end up getting some of that rhythm dance. And it's real popular right now. And we all had a little bit of Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire kind of look. So we really did concentrate on the earlier parts. Right now, what you see really being hot in tap dance is the river dance. It's touring the country, and it's just beautiful, beautiful rhythms. But 10 years ago, you weren't really seeing that much Irish dance. It was just people kind of keeping it alive. And certainly people in Ireland dance that way, but Americans weren't that into it. But now it's really a hot item. And then if you've seen any excerpts, or maybe have seen the production of Bringing the Noise, Bringing the Funk, that's Sabian Glover. He's kind of carrying on the Gregory Hines really made rhythm tap and jazz tap very popular in the last 20 years. And then you have Tap Dogs, which is performing in this area also, which is Australian, but it's use of work boots. But they're using their feet, they're using the rhythms of tap dance. So tonight we're just going to show you some real brief excerpts The tap 1 and 2 is going to do just a little bit of a Spanish kind of influence for y'all. And then tap 3 and 4 is going to come on and they're going to do our version, our salute to Irish dance. And then the tap 3 and 4, they're going to do a little bit of just a kind of a lyrical tap to show where tap can go. It's as diverse as the type of music that you want to listen to, that you want to choreograph to. So, with that in mind, we got our Spanish dancers. Y'all come forward. Sit on CD, honey, or sit on that? Okay. I apologize if the music's a little bit loud, but we got to have it cranked a little bit so we can hear over our taps. So I hope everybody lives over this.
As you see, Carol really works hard in her summer workshops to expose the children to a variety of the fine arts. And so you've just seen in their tapping, they were tapping to a lyrical, which I would have never thought of doing that sort of thing. So one of the things we did this year was teach them to work with puppets. And they really impressed me. Just in 5 hours of instruction, they learned how to talk with their hands. They made puppets. They wrote their own scripts. And then today, they're going to present that to you. But I want to show you, give you a little bit of a chance while they're getting set up so you can appreciate the hard work. I want you to learn what they learned in using their hands. So if you'll just put your hand up in front of you and turn to your neighbor and say, "Hi, how are you?" Now most of you are chomping down on your words. When you speak, do you say hi, hi, or do you say Most of you were eating your words. We don't eat our words when we talk. Hi, how are you? That was very hard for them to learn to do. But as you'll see, most of them got the hang of it, and I think you'll be really pleased with their work.
Hey everybody, what's up? How's your summer going? I'm fine, but I'm just so bored because there's nothing to do. Well, I just saw Anaconda last week. It was so stupid. That's been my excitement lately. I'm really bummed because we still have the rest of the summer and dance doesn't start until the fall. That's all I'm looking forward to. Well, school starts too. You mean you're looking forward to school?
No, it's just that we have to go back to school, and Miss Frizzle is my math teacher again. She is so boring.
Tell me about it. Last year, she made me do a quiz over again, just because I didn't put my name on it.
You know, she doesn't even have real eyebrows. She plucks them all out and draws them on with a pencil.
Yeah, and her lipstick isn't even on her lips.
I hear the chemistry teacher's name is Mr. Hazard.
I just hope Tommy Wilson isn't in my class next year. He sat behind me in language art and shot spitballs in my hair.
Well, I've got something even worse. Remember Ben Luffler? Well, he found my phone number and once called 10 times in one day. I thought my dad was going to rip the phone off the wall.
And that had only been Grant Sawyer.
As far as I'm concerned, school can wait.
Yeah, but dance hasn't been so much fun this past year.
Yeah, Miss Shannon just started teaching teen adult in grades 1, 2, and 3, 4 this year. She has been so much fun, and a great teacher, too.
Yeah. Carol was also pregnant the first semester, so Vlada taught her ballet. She was so much fun and gave us a hard workout every time she taught. I've been here for 5 years, and all the teachers are wonderful. I love being a part of Preparatory Youth Dance Theater. Yeah, and it's also fun having rehearsal for Peter Pan on Saturdays. Yeah. I can't wait till dance again. I can't either. This past year has been a great year for everybody.
Oh, yeah, I got to remind my mom about fall registration.
Twice.
June 26th and 27th, July 6th and 11th, and August 6th, 7th, and 8th from 4 to 7 p.m.
Okay, I'll be sure to tell her now. Bye.
wonderfully talented little dancers. And we've been working on this. It's really a book called Free to Be You and Me. And when I was their age, I did it as a play, and I thought, how cool and groovy. I'll turn them into a bunch of hippie dancers. And we did this. And it's really been a learning experience for me along with them, because this is sort of the first time I've ever really directed anything that anyone's ever seen besides the people in classes. And I sort of went into it thinking they could all just act, because I can. So, I figured they all could too. They're all on stage and stuff. But it's really been, I really watched a lot of these girls who started out and they were really, really, really shy and they wouldn't speak very loudly or anything. And now they just get up here, and I've really been surprised by a lot of them, and I'm really proud of them too. But while they're changing their clothes, I have to sort of, do this for a while. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about this book in case some of you moms and dads may be old enough to know what this is, but some of you aren't. So I'll explain to you what this is. It's a really great concept that was put together by Marlo Thomas in the 70s. She wanted to put a book together for parents and their kids, a different kind of book for them to enjoy together. And the best way to explain it, I'm going to read the afterword, which was written by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. It's really short, so I'll read it to you. So it sort of explains what this is. I've often thought there ought to be a manual to hand to little kids, telling them what kind of planet they're on, why they don't fall off it, how much time they've probably got here, how to avoid poison ivy, and so on. I tried to write one once. It was called Welcome to Earth. But I got stuck on explaining why we don't fall off the planet. Gravity is just a word. It doesn't explain anything. If I could get past gravity, I'd tell them how we reproduce, how long we've been here, apparently, and a little bit about evolution. And one thing I would really like to tell them about is cultural relativity. I didn't learn until I was in college about all the other cultures, and I should have learned that in first grade. A first grader should understand that his or her culture isn't a rational invention, that there are thousands of other cultures, and they all work pretty well, that all cultures function on faith rather than truth, that there are lots of alternatives to our own society. Cultural relativity is defensible and attractive. It's also a source of hope. It means we don't have to continue this way if we don't like it. So I thought not only is this a good way to let them do some scenes and learn about acting, but it's also a really good way for them to be themselves while they're doing it too, and to explore being kids and to know that they can be whatever they want when they grow up, and that as adults we can still be whatever we want too. We don't have to be stuck being something we don't want to be. And so it has a really important message, and it's just a really neat piece, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really, really proud of these girls too, and I really hope you enjoy it. So let's see if you're ready.
And our live musician tonight is Karen Marie Williams. She'll be playing guitar for their song they will sing for you.
Now someone else can tell you how to multiply by 3. And someone else can tell you how to spell Schenectady.
And someone else can tell you how to ride a 2-wheel bike. But no one else and no one else can tell you who you like.
And the engineer can tell you how to run a railroad train. A map can tell you where to find the capital of Spain.
A book can tell you all the names of every star above.
like it was the loudest voice in the whole world, when it really isn't loud. It's the way she says it's scary and sharp. Like a movie I saw when John Wayne, he says to this bad guy, Loman's scary, and you could tell he hated him. And it was like my mother says when she says, my mother is nice when she doesn't yell, but she yells a lot. works. Ow. I get the picture in my mind. I cry easy. Not anymore. I mean, when I was 5. Oh boy. My mom got annoyed about me crying because of nothing. And I just kept right on crying for 5 minutes. Around and telling her about the garage thing again. And then she got really angry. I mean, boy, was she extremely angry. And she said this thing. She said, stop crying. You look like an ugly rat. The thing is, when you get down to it, I wasn't a very good-looking kid. Did you ever hear the one about the little girl who is a tender, sweet young thing? Well, that's what she thought of herself anyway. And this tender, sweet young thing spent a great deal of time just looking in the mirror saying, I'm a real little lady. Anybody could tell that. I wear lovely starched cotton dresses with matching ribbons in my lovely curly locks. I wear clean white socks and shiny black patent leather shoes. And I always just put a dab of perfume behind each ear. When she was at the end of the lunch line at school, all she had to say was, ladies first, ladies first. She'd get right up to the front of the line. Well, her life went on like that for quite a while, and she wound up having a pretty good time. You know, admiring herself in mirrors, always getting to be first in line, and stuff like that. Then one day, she went exploring with a whole group of other people through the wilds of a deep and beastly jungle. As they went along through the tangly trails and the prickly vines, she would say things like, I've got to be careful of my lovely clothes, and my lovely smell, and my shiny, shiny shoes, and my curly, curly locks. So somebody please clear the way for me! And so they did. Or sometimes she'd say, what do you mean there aren't enough mangoes to go around? I'll have to share my mango just because I was the last one across the Icky River. So there's crocodiles and snakes. No matter how lost I am, it's still ladies first, ladies first. So hand over a whole mango, please. And so they did. Well, then guess what happened? Suddenly, the exploring party was seized, grabbed up by a bunch of hungry tigers. The tigers tied the explorers up and dragged them back to their tiger lair, where they sniffed around, trying to decide what would make the best for dinner. How about this one? Said the tiger chief. Said the others. How about this one? Got a lot of meat on it.
Meaty but muscly.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't take all night. I never saw such a picky eater, said the tiger chief. What about that? It looks tender and smells nice and fat. I never saw anything I wonder what it is. I'm a tender, sweet young thing, she replied. Oh, far out. I'm also a little lady. You should know that by my lovely clothes and my lovely smell. And if it's all the same to you, Tiger Tweety, will you please stop licking me and untie me this instant? Yes, as a matter of fact, we all just try to decide who to decide first. Ladies first, ladies. And mighty tasty, too. My brother is the kind of kid you get excited about. I mean, he really is a good-looking kid, Jerry. His hair is blonde, and he looks like, once I saw on Saturday Evening Posted, which we have a subscription to that comes every week. I like the cartoons pretty much. My brother, he was 3 when I was 5. I mean, he really knocks your eye out. My grandmother, every time she saw him, she'd have a fit. Right on the street. And right on the street, she'd have a fit. Nobody might like to expect my Uncle Herschel when we were having a picnic, the whole family out in the park. I didn't bother me right away about me being a little rat because I didn't even know what a rat was at the time, being young like I was. So I asked Lester, who was always breaking his arm. This boy Lester was older than me. At the time, he was about 10 years old, which is what I am now practically. He is always breaking his ankle or twisting his arm. He roller skates a lot, and I think that's how it happens with him, running into a truck. And that's how the operation when I took his whole appendix that left the scars. And he'll show you it if you ask him, and sometimes if you don't. You know, there are times when we happen to be just sitting there, quietly watching TV, when the program we're watching will stop for a while, and suddenly someone appears with a smile and starts to show us how terribly urgent it is to buy some brand of detergent, or soap, or cleanser, or cleaner, or powder, or paste, or wax, or bleach to help with the housework. Now, most of the time, it's a lady we see who's doing the housework on TV. She's cheerfully scouring a skillet or two, or polishing pots so they gleam like new. Or she's scrubbing the tub, or she's mopping the floors, or she's wiping the stains from the walls and the doors, or she's washing the windows, the dishes, the clothes, or waxing the furniture till it just glows, or she's cleaning the fridge, or the stove, or the sink, with a lighthearted smile and a friendly wink. And she's doing her best to make us think that her kind of soap, or detergent, or cleanser, or cleaner, or powder, paste, or wax, or bleach is the best kind of soap, or detergent, or cleanser, or cleaner, or powder, paste, or wax, or bleach that there is in the whole world. And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't, and maybe it does what they say it will do. But I'll tell you one thing I know is true. That lady we see when we're watching TV, that lady who smiles as she scours or scrubs, or rubs or washes or wipes, or mops or dusts or cleans, or whatever she does on our TV screens, that lady is smiling because she's an actress, and she's earning money to learn those speeches that mention those wonderful soaps, or detergents, or cleansers, or cleaners, or powders, or paste, or wax, or bleaches. So, the very next time that you happen to be just sitting there, quietly watching TV, and you see some nice lady who smiles as she scours or scrubs, or rubs, or washes, or wipes, or mops, or dusts, or cleans, remember, nobody smiles doing housework except for those ladies you see on TV. Because even if the soap, or detergent, or cleanser, or cleaner, or powder, paste, or wax, or bleach that you use is the very best one, housework is just no fun. Children, when you have a house of your own and there's housework to do, don't do it alone. Little boys, little girls, when you're big husbands and wives, if you want all the days of your life to seem sunny as summer weather, when there's housework to do it together. So I came up to Lester. His arm was all crushed. Hand up and past his elbow. And I wanted to speak to him personal. So I waited till a time when there was not a lot of kids around, which was not extremely often, because he had a lot of friends. Arms over each other's shoulder. When you walk down the street kind of friends. I don't have friends much, especially the kind at the time. Not like put their arms around your shoulders when you walk down the street. Sometimes kids would want to do like that with me, but I cut it out because I knew they didn't really like me. I really mean it because when you get right down to it, they didn't like me. The thing was, I cried a lot. And that time, and they heard me, and I'm pretty sure because we were all living together, in the same apartment house. And the thing was, I cried extremely. And they all could do things like one kid could climb, like on fences and things. I didn't do anything much, and I still had to wear my blue snowsuit from when I was 4. And other kids were wearing longies in the winter, and the snowsuit like I had was made from a big piece, so when I say you bend your elbow, I can feel it pulling your ankle. My mother didn't let me cross the street by myself yet, so I went up to Lester, and he had the cast on his arm, and his friends that could write, they signed names with an ink pen on the dirty white cap. A lot of friends' names over it. Friends cut it up too, way to his elbow. My brother's in pain. He won't get out of bed. My mother has to carry him into the kitchen. He opens his eyes when he smells a sugar box. He should get up himself. He's 6. He's in 1st grade, but he's so pokey. Daddy has to help him, or he'd never be ready in time and miss the bus. That's another reason why my brother's in pain. My sister thinks she's so great just because she's older, which makes Daddy and Mom think she's really smart. But I know the truth. My sister's the jerk. My sister thinks she's so great just because she can work the electric canister, which means she gets to feed the cat, which means the cat likes her better than me. Yeah.
He's got to be first to show Mom his schoolwork. She says an ooh and ah over all his pictures, which aren't great at all, but just ordinary 1st grade stuff. When my brother takes a bath, my brother's in pain. He powders the whole bathroom and he never gets his face clean. Daddy says he's learning to take care of himself. I say he's a sloth.
My sister thinks she's so great just because Aunt Diana lets her watch the babies and tells her how much the baby loves her. And all the time the baby's sleeping in my dresser drawer, which my mother's fixed up like a bed for when the baby comes to visit. And I'm not supposed to touch the baby, even if he does sleep in my drawer and is changed on my bed.
My brother, the pain, is 2 years younger than me. So how come he gets to stay up as late as I do, which really isn't late enough for somebody 3rd grade anyway. So I asked Mom and Dad about that, and they said, you're right, you are older, you should stay up later. So they tucked the baby to bed. I couldn't wait for the fun to begin. I waited, and waited, and waited, but Mommy and Daddy just sat there reading books.
My sister thinks she's so great just because, my sister thinks she's so great when she has friends over. They build whole cities out of blocks. I like to be the garbage man. I zoom my trucks all around. So what if I knock down some of the buildings? It's not fair that she always gets to use the blocks, I told my mother and father.
Finally, I shouted, I'm going to bed. I thought you wanted to stay up later, they said. I did, but without the pain, there's nothing to do. Remember that tomorrow, my mom said as she smiled.
They said you're right. Today you can use the blocks all by yourself. So I did, and I built the whole country all by myself. But the only thing is, it's not very fun to play with blocks alone. Because when I zoomed my truck around and knocked all the buildings down, nobody cared but me. Remember that tomorrow, Mom said, when I told her I was through playing blocks. But the next day, my brother was in pain again. When I got a phone call, he danced around me singing stupid songs at the top of his lungs. Why does he have to act that way? And I would especially like to know why the cat sits on the paint bed instead of mine, especially if it's on one of the pizza. That is the meanest thing alive. But the next day, we went swimming. I can't stand my sister when we go swimming. She thinks she's so great just because she can swim and dive, which is why I have to spit water her and pull her hair and even pinch her sometimes.
I don't know how my mom can say the pain is lovable. She's always kissing him and hugging him and doing disgusting things like that. My father says the pain is just what they always wanted.
When my mother hugs my sister, then my mother hugs my sister, messes with her hair, and other disgusting things like that. My father says the great one is just what they always wanted.
Yuck.
I think they love him better than me.
Yuck, I think they love her better than me. So he went away, and I was just standing there in the street by myself. And I got the feeling soon I got to cross the street that day. Maybe, and I got this terrible feeling to do something because Lester broke his arm. And the new thing, and other kids, they climbed or something. Like one kid could sound like different kinds of birds. My mother, she told me once when I was little, and all the babies said bye-bye in their carriage and did tricks. I didn't do anything, she said. I just sat in my carriage and stared like I was sick. When I was 5, all the kids my age, none of them were allowed to cross the street themselves without anybody. And they had to go over to an old man's house and say, Mister, will you cross me? So it came to me, I should cross the street, and not just a thin little street, like going to the other side of my block, but an extremely big street, like the corner on Flatbush Avenue.
Dear Richard, don't invite me to your birthday party because I'm not coming. And give back the Disneyland sweatshirt I said you would wear. If I'm not good enough to play on your team, I'm not good enough to be friends with. Your former friend, Janet. P.S. I hope when you go to the dinner you find some twinny cabbies.
Dear Janet, here's your stupid Disneyland sweatshirt. Here's your stupid Disneyland sweatshirt. Oh, okay. Okay. Dear Janet, here's your stupid Disneyland sweatshirt. That's how you're going to be. And give me my comic books now, finished or not. No girl has ever played on the Mate Street baseball team, and as long as I'm captain, no girl ever will. Your former friend, Richard. P.S. I hope when you go for a checkup, you need a tetanus shot.
Dear Richard, I changed my goldfish's name from Richard to Stanley. And don't count on my vote for class president next year. Just because I'm in the ballet club doesn't mean I'm not a terrific ball player. Your former friend, Janet. P.S. I see you lost your first game, 28-0.
Dear Janet, I'm not saving any more seats for you on the bus. For all I care, you could stand the whole way to school. Why don't you just forget about baseball and learn something nice like knitting? Your former friend, Richard. P.S. Wait until Wednesday.
Dear Richard, my father said I could call someone to go with us for a ride in Hot Fudge Sunday. In case you didn't notice, I didn't call you. Your former friend, Janet. P.S. I see you lost your second game, 34-0.
Dear Janet, remember when I took the laces out of my blue and white sneakers and gave them to you? Well, I want them back. Your former friend, Richard. P.S. Wait until Friday.
Dear Richard, congratulations on your unbroken record. 8 straight losses? Wow. I understand you're the laughingstock in New Jersey. Your former friend, Janet. P.S. Why don't you and the team forget about baseball and learn something nice like knitting?
Dear Janet, here's a silver horseback riding trilogy that you gave to me. I don't think I want to keep it anymore. Your former friend, Richard. P.S.
Dear Richard, I wasn't kicking exactly. I was kicking back. Your former friend, Janet. P.S. In case you're wondering, my batting average is .345.
Dear Janet, Alfie is having his tonsils out tonight. We might be able to let you catch next week. Richard.
Dear Richard, I pitched Janet.
Dear Janet, Joe is moving to Kansas and Danny sprained his wrist. How about a permanent place in the outfield? Richard.
Dear Richard, I pitched Janet. Susan Riley plays first base. Marilyn Jackson catches. Ezel Khan plays center field, and I pitch. It's a package deal. Janet. P.S.
Dear Janet, please, not Marilyn Jackson. Richard.
Dear Richard, no one ever said I was unreasonable. How about Lizzie Martindale instead? Janet.
Dear Janet, at least could you name your goldfish Richard again? Your friend, Richard. So then I heard my mother from upstairs in the apartment. She started to call Jules, March, Jules, Jules, and I was just standing around figuring out about crossing Flatbush because I didn't want to do it right away because I was scared. And she kept on going, Jules, Jules, lunch. So I started for the corner, which was a little way up the block because our apartment house where we live was in the middle of a block. She kept on calling Jules, like I told you she does, because must be coming to it get me, so I had to cross because I had to. So 2 fists I made, and I closed my eyes and shut tight till I heard a little of my head. Then I bent my head over and I ran. And that's how I crossed the street for the first time, all by myself.
One day, the sand table took over. Dudley Pippin's teacher thought Dudley had done it. No, sir. She made him stay a long time after. On the way home, he met the principal. He had a long nose and fierce eyes.
Hello, Dudley. People are saying you tipped over the sand table at school today.
Dudley just nodded. He couldn't say anything. It wasn't fair.
Didn't you do it?
Dudley just nodded.
I knew you didn't do it. Your teacher must have made a mistake. It wasn't fair. We'll have to take care of it first thing tomorrow morning.
Dudley nodded. I bet you'd like to cry.
No.
Dudley said, and began to cry. He cried for a long time.
That's fine. What for? You did that very well.
Nobody says it's a cry.
A sissy is somebody who doesn't cry because he's afraid that people call him a sissy if he does.
Mom makes sense.
Of course. Why should you be any different from anybody else? Most people spend their whole lives trying to get unmixed up.
Then he took a little flute out of his pocket.
Say, just listen to this nice tune we just played. It's lovely.
He began to play. The music was sad and joyous and filled the quiet streets and over the darkening trees and the whole world.
All right, thank you for coming. And thank you to our illustrious lighting man, Brad Butler, back here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing us your